Hello, hello. Let's make sure I got my right setup here. Hello, everybody. Happy Free Spirit Beading Monday. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all of our veterans that have served today, in the past, in the future. We are so very thankful for your service. And I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Lee. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Dana. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Zach. Hi, Melissa. Yay. Quick note about a giveaway today. We don't have one. We don't have one because our streaming program, as you may have all seen on Friday, is having an issue with people on Facebook. And we're showing that everyone is just Facebook user instead of showing who they are, which makes our giveaway difficult. And there's another possible giveaway problem happening, but I don't know for sure what that is yet. So we're going to sit tight until the streaming software works it out with Facebook. We've got a message when we log in that they are actively working on the issue. They know about it. So yeah, so today we're just going to forego a giveaway on today's video since we can't really tell. I see most of you are on Facebook right now. I'm not actually even seeing any comments from anyone on Facebook. Sorry, scratch that, reverse it. Most of you are on YouTube right now. I'm not seeing any comments from anyone on Facebook. So something weird is the brewing over there. Hopefully some of our Facebook friends will find us and will be able to comment. And if you can't, hop over to the Softflex Company YouTube channel and you can check us out over there. I do see one Facebook user. Yay! Hi, I can hear you and see you. Good. And someone else just found me. So I'm not seeing any names for anyone on Facebook. So I don't know who you are. But hello and welcome. And I'm so happy you're here and that you found us. Today, we're going to be working with our Pro Econoflex hobby beading wire. This is gold color. It is a 49 strand. Let me hold it up this way. It is a 49 strand beading wire. It's our medium diameter. And in fact, if you were to get it in fine, you would also have a 49 strand product. So that is something that's different with our Pro Econoflex, is that you've got 49 strands in our fine and our medium. And that's just on the Pro. This is the gold color. There's also like a stainless steel gray, I think is what we call it. And that's on sale. So that, along with all of our Econoflex, which I'm going to show you my bag, has got lots of fun colors. They have a very metallic-y color look to them. So let me bring out like the blue. This is the steel blue, and you see it has that metallic sheen on there. Now this is the Econoflex hobby beading wire. This one is only, this one is a 1x7 strand. So that is in the medium. So there is definitely a much smaller number of strands that make this product. I think I've got all medium here, but we do come in other diameters too. They have some really pretty colors. We call the Econoflex, this one with the pink label, our hobby beading wire, because it is sort of a less strand product. So it's a little bit more wiry. It's really great for crafty type projects or things like macrame, which is what I'm going to do today, because it's really inexpensive and it is something that is good for when you're using a lot of wire. It's good for things like lampshades or yeah, you can curl it like a ribbon. That's right. Sarah demonstrated that on Friday, that you can use a scissor and curl it like a ribbon, which is really fun. Kind of creates a different effect. If you like to do things a la Christy Friesen, whose birthday it is today, by the way. Happy birthday, Christy. She likes to put little whiskers and stuff on things. If you were to use the Econoflex, you can curl them, and that would be really, really cute. Or if you wanted to make some curly hair in sort of in a sculptural piece, that would be awesome. And then the Pro Econoflex, we still call this our hobby line, mostly because these are not made in the USA. So they are at a little bit lower of a price point. But the Pro Econoflex is a really nice beading wire. It's still 49 strand. It is flexible. You can feel the difference between this and Softflex. So I don't know that it's a one-to-one comparison, but it is a really good option. It's especially good if you want some gold color, because it's the only product that we have a gold color in. And that's what I'm going to do now. Kelly is asking, can you do macrame with Econoflex in both medium and fine? Yes. As a matter of fact, you can do macrame with every single beading wire product we sell. Softflex, Soft Touch, Econoflex, and in all the diameters. The only difference is that the wire you're using will be thinner or thicker, and it'll just make a thinner or thicker knot. The fine will be much more dainty than, say, the heavy, but you can do macrame in all of them. And it's really a micro macrame because the wire is so fine. It's not like leather or hemp where it's a very thick piece of material you're starting with. It's so fine. It's kind of more of a super micro macrame. Dana, it's something that's created in a totally different way. I don't know that it's necessarily thinner. You might have to send a message to the office for them because I don't know exactly how it is made. So I can't tell you if it's thinner or thicker on the colored coating than Softflex. I do know that you don't feel a nylon coating quite as much. You do feel more wiry feel, whereas Softflex is very smooth and soft, and you really feel that nylon. So yeah, it is a different coating. It does feel different, but I don't know that that's the coloring or the nylon itself that's on top. Yeah, wondering because of crimping. I do think when you crimp this product, I would rather crimp with the regular crimping plier versus the magical. I'm going to keep my magical for my Softflex, my Soft Touch. I think it'll slide a little bit more on the Econoflex. You might be able to make it work, but I would definitely feel more secure with our traditional crimper and versus the magical crimper. It definitely has its uses, Nancy. Right. We are not at the moment, we do not have any plans to bring in any more of the extreme gold. We do have metallics in copper and antique brass, and then we have the Pro Econoflex is where we have our gold color for now. Yes, the diameters are the same, Pamela. So the Pro Econoflex in the fine, medium, they are the same diameters as Softflex. So the fine is 0.014, the medium is 0.019. I am going to crimp. Kelly says, do you need to crimp the end of your macrame? I do. I do crimp the end of my macrame. Even though you cannot and glue it, you could always give that a try. But I'm just a crimper, and I always feel most secure with crimping any of my beading wire. Thanks for that, Nancy. Nancy says she has used the #1 crimp. So that's the 1x1 millimeter on the fine Econoflex. That's the really teeny tiny ones. Oh yeah, we did send some in a kit once, Dana. Yeah, so I would just stick with using, you could use a regular crimp tube. You can use the 2x2 with the Econoflex, just like you would with Softflex. Nancy said she's had good luck with the 1x1s, and I would just stick with more of the traditional crimper, just because the nylon is different. You can feel that the wire is a little bit different, and I think it'll slide a bit more because the magical crimper is really created for the Softflex wire lines, and so that has a little more nylon to grab onto. I am feeling better, and then I pulled out my back. It has been a wild couple of weeks because thank you, Caroline. I went from one thing to the next. I had a stomach issue and a stomach ache, and then I realized it was something I was eating that was bothering me, so I stopped that. Then last week I had a terrible headache, which I had for a couple of days. I think it was the barometric pressure because we had a few rainy days. And then this week, my mother-in-law is visiting, and so we've been taking the dogs out quite a bit with us. And I pulled my back out, taking the dog out of the car. So I'm actually feeling better. I did that on Tuesday, and I feel like I've come through the worst of it. And now I'm fine standing, walking, all that stuff. It's always the sitting that is the toughest, or getting up in the morning, so getting out of the car or getting up in the morning. And yeah, I definitely think I had a headache due to the pressure, for sure, because we had a few rainy days, and then once that passed, I was fine again. So yeah, it's true. My body must know that I'm here now. Been here for a little longer than just a week. And so I am getting adjusted to all of the changes, and I am eating different things and trying different foods, and yeah, the climate's totally different. So now I would just get this back all good. Hopefully I am smooth sailing after this, but yeah, it's been one thing after another. All right, let me pop up. Thank you all for the well wishes. It's I felt like the last couple of weeks I was like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good again. All right, this is our sale for this week, 25% off the Econoflex and the Pro Econoflex. We do also have some of these products in closeout. You won't get the 25% off, but some of them are already marked down 25 and maybe even 30% off in the closeout section. So you can go check out what we've got over there as well. Shop at softflexcompany.com. Use the coupon code Econoflex, all one word, to get 25% off and the ones in your cart. And you must use that coupon code. It's not valid with any other order discounts. It's one coupon per order, and it ends on November 12th, which is tomorrow night, midnight Pacific time. And we have Joyful Beading Challenge happening And so that's going on over in the Softflex Company VIB Studio group. Today's prompt is make jewelry with leaves. So we're going to add some leaves into our design today. And I've already seen quite a few of you sharing. Just share in our Facebook group with the hashtag Joyful Beading. And at the end of the month, we are going to choose 4 winners to win a prize of $25 store credit at softflexcompany.com just for participating. And that's been pretty fun. And then if you missed it, we had a DIY beading gifts and decor party on Friday night, this past Friday. You can find the replay on the Softflex Company Facebook page in the video section, and you can also find it on the Softflex Company YouTube channel. That was a lot of fun, and I highly suggest going and checking that out if you can, especially sometime this week, because all of us carry a lot of limited products and you want to see what everyone was sharing while they've still got it in their shop. Let's see. No, you do not. Good question, Kelly. For Joyful Beading, do you have to do it on the day? Plus, does it have to be with Softflex product fully? No and no. You can do it anytime throughout the month. Because we're waiting till the end of the month to choose winners, we're not worrying about which prompt is which day. The prompts are just there to help guide you and give you inspiration to create. But if you decide you want to do one of the prompts on a different day, that's fine. Just use that hashtag Joyful Beading. And it does not have to have complete Softflex product in there. We love when it does have some Softflex product, but it doesn't have to be all from Softflex, and it really can be just about anything that goes along with the prompt. So thank you for your question. That is perfect. And yes, happy Veterans Day, everyone. I said it in the beginning of the video, but I know quite a few of you joined me a little bit later. So happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. And thank you for your service, for all of the veterans, past, present, and future. Let's go down to my beading table. And I've got some beads here from the Badlands kit. This was so pretty. We still have a few of these kits left. Aside from the beads down here, the leaves and these little buttons, everything else in the middle here is from the Badlands kit. And with that kit, you would have gotten one of our Softflex Metallics copper color 10-foot spools. You also get some bindings and crimps, and we have 20 of those left. So go ahead and check those out. And we have a couple of the bead mixes itself. My dogs are barking at something. Let me see what's happening. I'll be right back. Well, I guess they're just like wrestling or something. Isn't that fun? I was kind of playing with all the different colors of this kit and shapes. There's so many good things in here. So here's some of our leaves. I pulled these out because today's prompt is make a jewelry with leaves. So here are all of the colors that you can get with this style of ceramic leaf. And this one has a decent sized hole running through the top like a pendant. I know I've put them as little charms hanging off of a bracelet, but you can also wear them as a pendant. Lots of fun colors. I think there's 8 total. 9? 9. There's 9 total. And They are chosen at random. So if you want every color, order 9 of them and you should get one of each. They are a random selection. We also have this pendant, which is a maple leaf. And this one also runs through the back and in the top, like a pendant situation. Maybe okay on a bracelet, but a little bit large. And then we have these sweet little curly leaves, which I'm going to use these in today's design because I think it matches the Badlands kit really well. And here is my bracelet that I started on. So see how that leaf runs top to bottom and fits really well on this kind of design. So I already started this bracelet, but I'm going to start another one with you so you can see how to begin it. And then we'll just finish off this one together. I pulled out a few buttons. We don't have these in the shop anymore, but these are those vintage buttons. And I thought they might be nice for a closure. So I pulled out a few of those. And oh, I also had these here. So if you missed our video on Monday, last Monday, we made a pumpkin spice little coffee cup or teacup. And then Dana on the video suggested some steam. So afterwards, I went ahead and added some steam and I thought it came out so cute. These would make great pins. So there's one with steam. There's one without steam. I have a little loop I put at the top for maybe hanging from a pendant, but I think they would also make really cute pins. All right, so the beads I ended up using in this design, I will keep on my table. The rest of them I will move out of the way. So I ended up, maybe I'll put them in this little guy. I ended up using these, which were in the kit. And you can grab some more of these at softflexcompany.com. They're still available. Little gem cut beads there. And then I'm also using these turquoise color, tiny little rounds. I am using a couple of these ceramic rice-shaped beads. I'm using some of these copper spacers. And then also these copper spacers. And lastly, I've got the curly leaves. So that's what I'm going to use for today's project. The rest of the items I will move out of our way. And so many of these beads fit 2 strands easily. You want to fit 2 strands of any material that you're using through the beads to have them go down the center of your macrame. And I didn't have any problems with any of them. I think this one was a little snug, but I was able to fit it. Oh, you ordered some of the cute ceramic leaves and hearts. Awesome. I know the hearts are really pretty too. Where are they? Oh, I've got them over there. These are cool also. And they're so much bigger than I thought they were. So I have those on my table to play with one day. Also, I think we sold out of the extras of these, so you can only get this color in the kit still. We'll move these guys just over here. All right, so there's our palette of beads. And then here is our macrame board. So this is the mini macrame board. You can grab this on softflexcompany.com. It is a really great board to work with Softflex or any of our beading wires. I have the Pro Econoflex on here. It's a self-healing board, so that means if you poke it, it'll kind of heal itself back up. It has notches all along both sides, so you can tuck in your wire like I have done here. I put a little bead stopper on the back, have my wires tucked in, really holds things in place. And it's also a great board if you like to do multiple designs at once. It's good for bracelets because it's smaller. So it goes from 0 down to 9 inches on the height, and then 0 over to 6 on the width. It's also great if you wanted to do, I've done some macrame earrings on it. I just usually hold my board this way, so I have less wire I need to work with. Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool board, and I haven't used it in a little while. I'm excited to give it a go. So I'm going to cut 2 strands of beading wire to go down the height of my macrame board, which I said is 9 inches. I'll probably just cut a little bit more so I've got a tail that can tuck in on those notches. So we'll say like 11 or 12 inches would be perfect. And I just usually eyeball it, just kind of put the wire across the board and make sure I give myself a little extra. Here is a closer look at that gold color. Really pretty. And then, oh, I was even thinking, which would be nice, that the autumn brown is really pretty. So that's the Econoflex Autumn Brown. And that is a really pretty color too. But since I've already cut this, I'll use this. Oh, you know, I could even two-tone it if I wanted to. So I'm going to tuck the wires in at the top. I'm going to tuck the 2 wires in at the bottom. I usually tuck them on the same notch since they're so thin. And then put a little bead stopper on the top one so it holds it in place while I'm knotting. And then I'm going to cut for my knotting wire. I'm going to cut, I cut 4 feet, which when you're using a lot of beads and not doing as much knotting, you don't need as long of a knotting strand. If you're doing a lot of knots and less beads, whereas if I had all these being knots and just, you know, sporadically beads, then you're going to need a longer knotting strand. So I ended up doing 4 feet for this first one, but it may even be a little too long. I'm going to just stick with that for this one, since I haven't had a chance to test it out. But just know, if you cut 4 feet and you end up using a lot more beads, kind of like I did in this design, you might not need as much wire. We'll see when I get to the end how much I end up having left over. So this one, the one that I cut 4 feet of, is our stringing wire. This is our knotting wire. And it's going to go underneath your 2 middle ones. I'm using the Pro Econoflex medium gold color. And these come in, I think this one's a 15-foot spool. I think it's 15 and 30. I'm not positive on that though. This one's a 30, so I do think it's probably 15 or 30 feet for those. All right, so and now I'm gonna put that longer knotting strand in the center. You're gonna find sort of the center right here, and then you're going to put it underneath the two strands. So if you see, when I look at the back, this one's really short, this one's really long. I want these tails on the back end, I want them to be about the same size, and that way I know I am in the middle of my knotting. We're going to start this off with knotting 3 square knots before we add on any of our beads. So I'm going to go ahead and do my first one. And I don't worry about being all the way at the top for my first one because I can slide it up once I have it on this wire. Because beading wire is a little bit more, has a little bit more slipperiness, I guess, than some of your other knotting materials. It's easy to kind of slide it up, especially on the first one. So I'm going to take the wire coming out of this side here, and I'm going to make it so my wire's coming out on the right. I'm going to make a P shape, a loop, and cross over those two middle wires. And then I'm going to pick up my wire on my left, and I'm going to go over the one I just looped around. So I looped this one this way, and then this one I go over this wire here, and then I go under the two strands and through the loop. And that is 1/2 of my square knot. To do the other half, I do the same thing on the other side. So now I take the wire on the left side, create that loop, I go over my two wires in the center, and then I take my wire on the right, I go over this wire here that's coming through the loop, go over it, go under the two wires in the center, and then pull through that loop. Hello, Bert and Kihei. It's my husband. I just dropped him off at work today so that his mom and I can tool around in the car a little bit later. So there's your first complete square knot. And now I can take it and slide it up to the top. And now I'm going to do my next one. So I'm going to do the next one the same way I started the first one. So I'm going to make the P loop on this side, crossing over those two wires in the center, taking the wire on the left, over where I crossed, under the two in the middle, and then through that loop. And there's 1/2. And now we'll do it on the other side. So instead of a P, we're making like the bottom half of a D, and we're crossing over those middle. We're grabbing this one over, under the middle, through the loop. So now I have 2 square knots. Let's just tighten that down, and you can see them right there. Micro macrame, right? So teeny tiny and dainty. I'm going to do one more full square knot. just like so. And I try and keep these two in the center, not crisscrossing. You want them to stay parallel. So just be aware before you pull it tight. Sometimes it's good to just take a look and make sure that they didn't crisscross. Once you put the beads on them, you don't have any trouble. That's more of an issue of just when you're knotting with the wire. So now I'm going to add my first bead, which is one of these gem cut beads, and you're going to slide it on the two middle wires. So these were the two middle wires. You pick them up off your board and you put your bead through them both, just like so. Oh my gosh, you guys are all in organization mode, it sounds like. And now we're going to do that square knot again. So we're going to do just one square knot between. So we'll do that on the one side, on the right side, and then do it on the left side. So there you have it. You've got your one bead in place and you've got one square knot below it. And then I'm going to pick up those two middle wires and slide down my next bead. Slide it into place, take those two wires, tuck them back in at the bottom, and then I'm going to do another square knot. So make the P on the right, over, under, through the loop. Cinch it up, and then make that D on the left, over, under, through the loop. And usually what I do, I was pulling that up and they were starting to twist. And what I did was just back off, let it kind of relax, and they both those wires fell in line again, and now I can cinch it. So that's how you start it. I'm going to move this one. I'm going to move this one to the other end of my board, so it's not in my way, and I'm going to finish this one with all of you. So let's just move that over here a little bit further away. And here I got to this point, so I was scooting along. I just put these little turquoise beads in between every bead I picked up, and then I slid on the leaf. Now I can just let the wire be on the side and make a knot here, but I was thinking it would be pretty to add some beads on the outside since we have so much space on this one. And I thought, let's go through the little delicas that we have. These are all of the little delica colors. And maybe I can either pick up the gold if I want to do sort of gold beads along the edge. That might be fun. Or this color's pretty. I think this was in the vintage. This is the fancy lined copper. That was in the vintage holiday set. And what else? Oh, this one could be fun too. A pop of yellow if you want it to be brighter than the gold. What do you think? Which color do you like? The yellow, the gold, or the fancy lined copper? I know, they do pile up. That's how I sort a lot of stuff, is in zip bags too. But after a while, it's hard to know where everything is. I just found these. This is from one of our little takeout places. They make these little bento box takeout food. So I started saving them and I'm using them to sort my beads, and then they stack up on top of each other. I see a yellow from Danielle. I see copper from Clem, gold from Helen, 2 for copper, 2 for yellow, 3 for copper. Looks like copper is in the lead. Four for copper, 3 for yellow, 4 for yellow. Neck and neck with yellow and copper, or root beer. It is kind of like a root beer color. I'm going to take out the gold since we seem to be between yellow and copper. Oh, another yellow. 5 yellows, 4 coppers. Oh, another copper. 5 and 5. Aunt Mary said yellow too. Nancy said yellow. Oh, yellow has pulled 2 ahead. All right, we'll go with yellow. Let's add some yellow into this little palette here. And what I'm going to do is taking the outside wire, the knotting wire, I'm going to add on delicas on each side. I've done this too with those like gem cut rondelles, the ones that I ended up using inside the bracelet. I've done that on the outside wires, and those have been so pretty. But once I ended up using them inside the bracelet, I didn't have as much to go around the outside. So the forethought wasn't there on that one for me. So I'm just gonna keep going until I have enough beads to go around my leaf. I still have everything in shipping boxes in this room though, so I've got plastic baggies in shipping boxes. That looks pretty cute. I might take off, maybe I'll just take off 2 and see where it lands, because you know you're going to end up cinching it kind of tight. That looks good. How many do I have on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17. Okay, so what you can do while you're waiting is you can take this wire to the side and tuck it in, and this way you won't lose those beads you've already strung if anything happens and your board takes a move and you don't lose anything that's already on there. So there's 7. I'll just do 10 more. I don't have an air conditioner yet. I do have an air conditioner in the other room. So like on Friday, what I did was kind of put the AC on in the other room, shut all the doors except for my office, and let it cool it down. There's 8, so just 2 more. I really just need a fan, I think, though, because it is kind of cool. I don't think it's going to get as hot as it was last month. And as long as I have a fan, like moving air, I think I'll be good. All right, so I'm going to take this wire out from the notch because now I'm ready to use it again. And I'm going to pick these up. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did when there were no beads on it, is I'm going to make that P-loop on the left go over, under, through the loop. I'm sorry, P-loop on the right. Pull that, cinch that down. And I might have to just make sure that I'm not catching any beads in a weird spot. Let's pull that one. Since these are so small, make sure I'm knotting around them. There we go. And then do the other side, which will help cinch it all in. Go around my leaf. Oh, it's a little trickier of a shape than when you're just using something round. Let's see, I might do one more knot, square knot underneath it, just so I feel like it is a bit more together. That feels a little bit better, and then I can kind of get my beads around it. And now I'm going to go back to doing just single beads. So I'm going to pick up the turquoise that I had there. And then create a nice square knot underneath. Helen, I love to use medium soft wax for all of my projects, pretty much. I very rarely use any other diameter. So I'm a big medium fan. Bracelets would be medium or heavy traditionally because they get a lot of wear and tear. A macrame bracelet, however, you can use any diameter you want because you're doing a lot of knotting. It's not going to get the same wear and tear of beads rolling up and down the beading wire you do with a regular bracelet. But for me, the medium is my all-purpose go-to for pretty much everything. And I know a lot of people feel that way about fine. They love our fine beading wire. They like how it drapes. I would use fine for necklaces or for things that are tiny. So if you're using, say you're using like gemstones that are kind of this size and the hole is really small, you might not be able to get them through a medium. And in that case, you've got to switch down to a fine. Or if you're using pearls, sometimes you can't get some pearl beads through a medium. So it's kind of nice to have two on hand, medium and fine, just in case you're using beads that have a smaller hole and you got to kind of dip down. The medium is great for ceramic beads. I agree. Caroline says the medium's great. For ceramic beads, it's good. It's great for glass beads. It's great for lamp work. It's great for metal because metal can be abrasive. It's great for crystals because those can be abrasive. In those cases, the medium is really nice. But I do know that the medium has a little more of a structure to it, and the fine diameter is a little bit, some feel more flexible, and so it depends on how you want your finished piece to look and feel. Hopefully I have enough of these little turquoise beads. I didn't count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do. Perfect. Okay. Rosanna says, me too, the medium is the best. That's true, Clem. Clem is saying it depends on the whole size of your beads. Usually that is our rule of thumb, is to use the largest diameter that will fit through the whole of the beads that you are working with. That is like a good rule of thumb. But some people just really love a certain diameter versus another. It's just more comfortable. They've just what they've grown accustomed to. And I do feel that we have a lot of people that just will use fine all the time because it's just they just like it. They just like how it feels. And that's how I am with medium. I just like how medium feels, and I just use medium pretty much for everything. I messed up here. I'm supposed to put that one. I had a feeling. I've had a feeling. This is one of the beauties of using beading wire to macrame, though, is that it's very easy to take and undo a knot if you find you need to fix what you just did. There we go. That was my next one in my pattern. And we'll just, it does create a bit of a little kink in there because you had pulled a nice tight knot. But once you pull another nice tight knot, it will disappear, and like you wouldn't have even known. Helen is asking, does the medium like a more robust and finished look? The medium just feels a little different. It just will lay a little more structured than the fine. The fine might lay a little softer. And then if you really want a structured look, then you would go up to our heavy. And I think we've got, I don't know if we have a Softflex. Do we have a Softflex trio, Damien, that does all three, fine, medium, and heavy? I think we do. If you really wanted to try them, have just sort of one of each on hand and see which one you use more. We suggest fine for earrings, necklaces. We suggest medium or heavy for bracelets. And obviously medium can be all three. All right, so here's where I'm at with all of my beads. I kind of let this guy be my little center, and I'm down to just about 6 inches. Now on this side, I had 3 square knots at the beginning. So I've got 1 here. I'm gonna do 2 more. And if you needed to be a longer bracelet, then you can keep going. I'm going to stop here just for symmetry's sake, and I'm sure I can find somebody that this will fit, because once we add 2 more knots and then add our clasp, it'll be a little bit longer. So now we're at just over 6 inches. Thanks, Damien. Damien just linked that we do have a Trios multi-diameter beading wire pack that has all 3 in it. If you wanted to pick that up and have access to all 3 diameters. I'm going to take this off my beading mat. I did have quite a bit left of knotting wire. Let's measure that. I'm curious if I could have gone with a little bit less for this design. So I have about 12 inches. However, I have about this amount left, 5 inches of that. So maybe you could get away with 3.5 for your knotting wire if you wanted to be more conservative and not have wire that you need to cut off. So this is one of the interesting things with macrame with Softflex is you're going to have 2 strands coming out of your starting spot, but you're going to have 4 strands at the end over here, which is totally okay. I'm going to see where this fits and how it looks. Pretty cute. I have a pretty big wrist, so it's probably going to be a bit small for me. But that's okay. I can give it to someone else. I'm going to probably use one of these as my clasp. Can use that one. Could use that one. That one's kind of cute. Or just go with one that's more plain. I think I like this one. It's got kind of a gold rim. And I'm just thinking about what side do I want to put the button on? Do I want to put the button? Do I have enough space to put the button on this side? And then I can bead on this side. I might try something a little bit different than what I usually do. I'm going to grab my crimp tubes. I'm going to grab my gold-filled 2x2 crimp tubes, and let me see if I have a regular crimper up here. Did I bring a regular crimper? I thought I did. Oh boy, I don't think I did. That's how much I love my magical crimper. I didn't even bring a regular crimper. Well, we're going to test it out with this one then and see how it works on the Pro Econoflex. So I'm going to go ahead and put my crimp down. Ooh, a wood button would also be cute. Yeah, I don't even know if I put it on my list because I was probably just thinking, oh, I'll just use my magical crimper always and forever, right? Me and my BFF. So I'm going to just string down one wire, I think. I might want, you know what? Let's do both. Maybe it'll give me a little extra oomph in my crimp. So let's take both wires down. And because I do know that your magical crimper likes when there's a bit in there. And we will go ahead. So I've got 4 wires. I've got the 2 going through the crimp, and then those 2 going through the button, and then both of them coming back down. So there's 4 wires. And hey, that did a good job. I think the magical crimper probably works better on the Pro than it does on the regular Econoflex. So magical crimper on the Pro, yes. Magical crimper on the regular, no. Because this one's, I do know I've struggled with it on that one in the past. That's cool. And then I'm just going to trim that off. So I got a little button on this side. Now on this side, what I usually do is I usually will crimp both of these and then gather and do a crimp. I probably could gather them all and do a crimp because there's 4 strands that fit through. On soft flex medium, you can't really get 4 strands through. On soft flex fine, you can. So on medium, I do tend to make a little different choice. But I think I can get, because these are, do feel like they have thinner nylon coating, I think I'll be able to get all 4 through. I can. Awesome. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and crimp these 4. And I'm going to cut away 3 out of the 4. Leaving just one of the long ones. I'm just going to see where I'm at because I'm thinking if I put another couple of beads over here, what if I decided to just put a couple of beads and made it a little bit longer? And then make my little piece that connects to my button. How much longer do I need to go? I'm going to do that. And then I'll add my crimp tube. And then I'm going to go back to these yellow Delica beads. And use that to make my button clasp. Never enough beads, I know. I agree. No matter how many beads we have, we do want more beads. Don't we? I mean, I guess the beauty is in the variants and all the different types, and also just having like the right beads for the right project. And you need beautiful focal beads, and then you also need supporting beads. And you can't have just supporting beads. You can't have just the beautiful focals, right? So I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to go back down my crimp tube, but I'm going to keep it a bit loose, at least not trying to get like too tight with it, because I just want to do a check and make sure that this will fit around my button. It will, but it's a smidge snug, so I might just add another one or two. Let's try 2. I don't want it to be too loose and fall off my button, but I don't want it to be too tight and make it difficult to put on and off. So again, I'll pull it through loosely and check. And that seems good. So now I'm just going to pull my crimp tube down towards my beads. And this little part here was really just a little cheater for 2 things. It kind of allows you not to have a crimp and a crimp right next to each other. It's kind of nice to have a little bead between. But I also added a few more just to make my length of my bracelet more in line with what would fit me. So now I'm going to crimp this. Now be careful with this magical crimper when you're crimping near delicas. Make sure your delicas are above your plier, because your magical crimper will otherwise smash them. So you have to have a little bit of space. I'm going to squeeze down. It makes a ravioli 4-corner little pillow shape, and then I'm going to put it back in that notch. Again, I'm going to try and watch my delica beads so that I don't crack one on purpose. Or I mean on accident. Sometimes you want to crack one on purpose if it's a little too many in there. There's that worked well even with 2 strands. I feel pretty good about that. Hopefully that will hold. I feel good about it though. There we go. My little leafy bracelet. I know. Sometimes I want to nip the beads if it's like I'm just trying to create a little more space. But Most of the time, I don't want to. And it's those little seed beads or delica beads. And now it fits me perfectly. So my little cheat of adding a few more beads here after the crimp made it the right length for me. Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that today and give the macrame board a try if you haven't in a while. Smash, crunch. Totally. Woo. And I'm like, have a nice dewy glow in this room because it's kind of like a sauna. Maybe I'm like detoxing every Monday. Normally I keep my door open and I let some air in, but I have my mother-in-law here and the dogs outside. So I decided to shut the door, which makes me a little sauna-like. So I hope you liked today's project and it gave you some new ideas. And I hope you even liked that I had to make mine a little bit longer because it gave me a chance to show a little cheat on how to take something smaller and make it a little bit bigger. Very true, Rosanna. She says when she makes Barbie jewelry, she always knows that she can crunch a bead if she needs to, especially if you're working with ceramic or glass or something that is crunchable. Rosanna makes really cute Barbie jewelry. And if you don't know what that means or what that would look like, go check it out over on her YouTube channel in Rose's Garden, because she's got, I think, a few videos that have used our beading kit to make some Barbie jewelry. Super cute. What a great gift for those Barbie fanatics or little girls or someone for Christmas, something different. If you've given lots of jewelry, maybe the dolls need jewelry too. Yes, that's what happens, Dana. I have very sweaty hands to begin with, so that is how I always end up being able to pick up those seed beads and they stick to my finger. Shh, that's one of those secrets, behind the scenes secrets. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again next Monday for a new episode of Free Spirit Beading at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Go check us out at softflexcompany.com. You can grab your Econoflex and your Pro Econoflex at 25% off right now until tomorrow, November 12th at midnight. You must enter the coupon code Econoflex and you'll see that discount. It's not valid with any other order discounts, and there's only one coupon per order. And we did make some jewelry with leaves today. That was today's Joyful Beading Challenge prompt. So if you've got some leaves in your stash that are looking for an accessory to go in, today is the perfect day to do it. And then tomorrow is design using check glass beads, which I know we all have a ton of. Join Sarah here on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time for her next video. And we do have a live sale this week. So tune in on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time for that. And then we've got Joyce on Friday at 9:30 a.m. for her episode of Spill the Beads. Have a wonderfully beady week, and I will see you all next Monday. Bye, everybody.